Hey, what is going on, guys? Evil Graffiti 902 Stories here. Welcome to my first official YouTube video. This video, it's gonna, be a story time, kind of stay with my channel and stay with the theme of my channel. And so you guys kind of get an idea of what this channel is gonna be about. I'm gonna be telling the story of the first time I ever got high. So, real quick, I just want to, what the hell is that? Hold on. Alright, hopefully that's a little better. I know there ain't no editing or nothing, but you know, the boy's a little broke. But, basically I want to let this little disclaimer to be that don't let this video basically dictate whether you are or you're not gonna smoke weed, because weed is really just a personal preference. And the way I look at it is nobody has ever like overdosed or died from smoking pot. Well, unless you're allergic to it. But other than that, like the smoke, I mean, other than that, nobody's really died from it. If you're gonna die from it, you're probably dying from something you're doing while on it because you're being stupid. So just don't be stupid. But let's jump into this. I'm gonna start this story off with saying that it was just a regular day, pretty much. It was just a regular weekend. Me and my friend, we're gonna call him Damien. Me and him, you know, it was late. It was the evening. We had played Black Ops 2 all day. Shout out if you guys, you know, were old enough to be around when Black Ops 2 grinding for camos was a thing. But yeah, we were grinding for diamond camo. I believe I was working on gold on the assault rifles, probably. I mean, that's what I spent most of my time with. I don't know why I found the assault rifles just harder to do. Snipers also. But needless to say, me and my friend Damien, we start walking down to the hockey stadium. We have a hockey stadium in the town that I lived in, and well, if there wasn't usually stuff to do, there was usually something to go and watch down there. Whether it be sneak into the hockey game or watch somebody you know at school get into a fist fight. Yeah, there was always something going on, but today there was nothing. There was nothing. It was sad. There was nothing. My friend didn't even have any smokes, so he was picking up butts off the ground. This just the cringy old days. I was probably 14 around this time. I was 13 or 14, just so you can get an idea of how young I was. And we get a text. Well, my friend Damien gets a text, but we get a text from a guy that I'm gonna call Xavier. Now Xavier messages us saying, "Hey, I have a joint rolled up. Do you want to come split it with me?" And I had never tried it, so I was like, oh, well, if you want to, because I wasn't gonna be that friend that was gonna sit there and say no. I don't want to be around you smoking pot. Like that's rude of you. Like no, he had done it before. I had known it. I wasn't gonna stop the dude from doing something he chose to do. I was always in the mindset, even when I was younger. Just like if somebody wants to do something, let them. It's your choice if you want to do it with them. That, and I was also always under the mindset that pot was better than cigarettes. Even with the DARE program being instilled into my head in like grade 2 or 3. I never really, I don't know, I always found cigarettes to be way worse. Might have had something to do with like lung cancer running in my family, but I don't know. But needless to say, we start walking to where we're gonna meet him. And best way to put this is, it's a ATV trail. Like it was a small wooded town, like just wood in the middle of fuck nowhere. Most of the houses are like really old, just, you know, not in greatest condition. Not the worst, livable, but you know what I mean. Just it's a wooded area. It's not in its prime anymore. So there's a mudded dirt bike trail, or a 4-wheeler trail was big enough to put a car in. And it went right into the woods, and it was just literally off the road. Like you could literally just hop the sidewalk, and there you were. You're driving through the woods. Most redneck thing ever. But but needless to say, we go and meet him there, and if you walked further down this trail, you'd come to a cross that would basically, you could keep going down the trail and it just lead to more ATV trails. Or you could keep going straight and you'd be trespassing into this junkyard, which I have a whole nother story about. Whole other story about this junkyard. Actually, I get a couple. But, yeah. Also, I've been noticing this glare, so if you notice me looking, oh no, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to cover that. I mean, the hat, I guess, might be doing something, but I'm trying. But, needless to say, we get there and we meet up with him, and surely enough, Xavier has a joint. And, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what I always knew a joint was. Like, I had watched stoner comedies at this point, because I was that kid that, though I didn't smoke weed, I was posting fucking... I was posting those, like, pictures of Mario and Luigi smoking the fucking pipe and playing NES. Like, I was cringy, okay? I was cringy. I was cringy. I still am. But, needless to say, I wound up, going down with them, and they're puffing, passing, like, they've let it, they're puffing and passing. I'm just watching, I'm getting the smell, I'm like, oh, that's where that smells come from, because I've smelt it before. I knew it was weed, I just didn't know, like, I didn't realize that joints had a specific smell, and that's how I kind of realized that. But, and then, just, I'm sitting there, I'm hands in my pocket, it's dark, I'm just sitting in the woods thinking to myself, man, I hope a raccoon doesn't come and bite my fucking Achilles heel off. That would really fucking suck right now. But, then, I just see this, and, I'm like, and I'm literally sitting there looking at it, I'm like, and the only thing that's going through my head is, take it. You're gonna run into it now. You're gonna run into it later. Like, my mindset was literally just pretty much, I'm with two people, they're like my best friends in the world. I trust them. If I'm gonna get high with anybody, I'd rather get high with them. I know there's nothing in this weed. I know that they're not gonna do nothing. Like, they might joke around if I got too high, but other than that, they're not gonna do nothing. Like, they're not gonna just leave me in the woods while I have a panic attack. They wouldn't do that. So, I look at it, and I take it, and I'm looking at it again, and I realize I don't want to be sitting there and be that guy that's, oh, here. I don't want to be that guy sitting there going, while everybody's waiting for it, like it wasn't this long, but, pretty much, I wind up, obviously, I do what you do with a joint. I hit it. And I don't want to hear anything about it, but I did the baby hit. I don't want to hear nothing about it in the comments if I even have enough viewers to have comments, but, I just, and I pass it back. And I tasted, well, it tasted like nothing I'd ever tasted before, but, it wasn't a bad taste, I guess you could say. The burn in the back of my throat was probably the thing that was getting me. It was really making me cough. Like, I wasn't used to that warm, tickly feeling. If you smoke weed, you know what I mean. Like, when you smoke weed, just straight bowl or straight joint, it just, this warm feeling in the back of your throat. It's like, it's honestly pretty good in the winter, but, coming from the cold. But, I digress. Needless to say, I don't know. I didn't really feel much. So I passed it to my friend, Damien. And he takes his hits and passes it to Xavier, and Xavier passes it back to me. And I think to myself, well, I'm not feeling nothing. If I'm going to smoke weed, I'm going to feel something. And maybe it was just shit weed. Maybe it was just the fact that I didn't have a good tolerance. No offense to Xavier, it was probably just shit weed because it was like homegrown. It was his homegrown, him and his father grew, but he had just started growing. And, like, I mean, obviously it wasn't bad stuff, because what happened next, but it just, yeah, I don't know, it wasn't like I'm slumped, like, right away, that everybody else describes. Kind of wish it was. I got that eventually, though, and that'll be a story for another day. But needless to say, I don't know, I took it, and took a couple more hits, longer hits this time, though. I went, and I also inhaled, like, a lot more. I went, and that made me cough so bad. I remember, like, just the feeling of the eyes puffing here, and you just coughing, you're going, you look at, Custom Girl 420 Skydog. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. If you've been on YouTube long enough, you know who I'm talking about. The Xcode cough. Needless to say, though, Joint gets finished off. He's got to go back to his house. I think maybe he was on house arrest or something at the time. I don't know why he had to go back to his house. Like, he usually never had any, like, kind of rules or curfew, but this story's getting a little long. Anyway, pretty much I wind up walking with him back to my place, because it is getting pretty late. It's probably like 11 o'clock at this point, and, like, my mom wasn't the kind to worry about this kind of thing. I'd tell her I'd be out late. But I was the kind that I didn't want to be out super late, at least not, like, off the street. I don't know, it was just something about, like, hey, if it's, like, getting close to 1 o'clock, if I'm gonna go out town, I want it to be, like, I don't know, just a good reason. Like, a good reason. Like, there was no real good reason in this small town to go out at 1, because the only store that was open was literally on the other side of town. So there really was just no good reason to. But yeah, we start walking back, and that's when it hits me. That's when it hits me. The coffin's done, and it hits me. And I'm walking, and I'm just like, whoa. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm literally doing the, because I'm just sitting there feeling so tingly, and I start vibing. Look at my friend Damien, because you know Xavier had to go home, and Xavier, you know, chill guy, but I look over at my friend Damien, and I say to him, hey, you gotta put some tunes on, man. I'm vibing. And he's like, what? And he's like, man, I'm like, man, I'm fucking high. I need some tunes. And I'm like, play that one song that I like, that goes, doom, 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 doom. And I literally do that. And he starts laughing his ass off, but he knew what song I'm in, and it was Yonkers by Tyler, the Creator. Loved listening to this song. Like, still do to this day. It's just a banger. But, we just walking home, and literally, we get, like, halfway into the song, and a white car starts coming around the corner, and he just pauses it, and we both just start Minecraft-y walking, trying to look all natural. And the reason because is every single white car that we saw, we thought was our town cops. So here's our high asses, totally looking sketchy, just straight stiff limb walking past every white car. Everybody that's in the houses, they just looking out and seeing these two fucking chubby young teenagers just, oh, it was bad, man. It was bad. It gets better. We finally get back to my place after pretty much taking every side roads and shortcut and avoiding every white car we see, and it was just so stupid how paranoid I was. I don't even know why he was paranoid. And the funniest part was this, he had me convinced, and he had himself convinced, to be honest. Maybe he was just fucking with me, but he had himself even convinced that they had breathalyzers to see how much THC was in your system, so that, like, you would be caught if you were high. And basically I didn't realize that the laws worked, so I was like, oh my god, I don't want to go to jail for being high, man. So I'm sitting here freaking out and we're avoiding it. But we finally eventually get home, and the munchies have set in, like, to level, like, 10. Like, don't think I've ever had munchies this bad in a long time. Honestly, probably since then. But I look at my mom, and I'm like, Mom, can I cook the 2 frozen pizzas? Because there's 2 frozen pizzas in the deep freeze. And what did she say? No, they're for supper tomorrow. and they were for supper. And I didn't give a shit. 5 minutes goes by, because she only was staying up to make sure I was okay. 5 minutes goes by, she goes back, like, she goes to bed. She was already tired, had a drink or 2 in her anyway. Like, it wasn't slosh, just something to, like, I don't know, give her a reason to stay up. But winds up going to bed, and I wind up sneaking upstairs, because my room was in the basement, and I wind up sneaking upstairs, and I cook me and my friend both. I cook me and him both the goddamn pizzas, like, each one. And I rolled mine up, and he rolled his up, and we started eating it like just a pizza burrito. And my mom was so livid, like, just so livid. And I don't blame her. Like, they had to cook chicken, And we had chicken pretty much every single week of that damn month. Every single week of that goddamn month. What? Every single day of the damn week. But I don't know. It was worth it. But I don't know. After that, I really just kept playing video games. Got back and just pretty much picked up where I left off. But now it's stoned, and I got to play video game stoned for the first time, which was amazing like feeling. Definitely so happy that it was Black Ops 2 that I played. And then I got to experience my first burnout, and I passed out real hard. But yeah, didn't have no major pasties, didn't have an anxiety attack, didn't get super stoned or nothing. Well, I mean, I guess I was anxious, but yeah. That was the story of the first time I ever really smoked weed. I know this is a bit of a long video, but I don't know, I felt like this one really needed some detail. I felt like it would just be better with it. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making this. It was good to relive that. I'll probably be making, well, definitely will be making more videos like this. Hope you all enjoy. Have a good day. Stay high.